All right, Alex.
What you seeing?
I got 122 flag, 107 front, uphill. I'm excited to share with you a lot of the lessons I've learned on the golf course to make you not only a better golfer, but a golfer that people are going to enjoy playing with more.
I missed it 4 feet to the left.
You know that? I was like, I like that.
Hello, friend. My name is Scott Epstein, also known as Scottie the Caddie, and welcome to the Links and Lifestyle Podcast. I'm grateful and thankful that you're listening. The weather's been gorgeous down here in the low country, and it seems that spring has sprung through much of the country. I want to discuss a phrase I had never seen or heard before this past week. Learn it, earn it, return it. Let's dive in. We had a 3-day event at Secession in which 4-man teams teed up from all over the world. One of the guys I caddied for was a former professional athlete and all-around very special human being. I checked out his LinkedIn and Instagram profiles. His LinkedIn summary had a phrase I had never seen before. Learn it, earn it, return it. I asked him about it, we had a nice chat, and he shared what it meant to him. To the best of my research, the phrase is credited to Rola Dahar, a former president and CEO of Cisco Canada and global channel chief at Dell Technologies. First on the tee is learn it. I have always been and am still very much a learner. I was always a very good student in high school and college, got a lot of A's. After college, I took and passed some very high-level finance exams. I was always book smart. When I got seriously involved in the network marketing world in 2009 and grew a large team, I threw myself into the personal growth, personal development world. I learned even more in my sobriety journey starting in 2014. And some of my very best and most impactful learning has been over the last couple of years, diving into the Bible and my walk with Jesus. The point is I'm always learning. You should never stop learning in life. I still have so much to learn about so many things. Some people are very closed off to learning new ideas or new ways of doing things. That know-it-all mentality doesn't get you very far. The learn-it-all mentality does, and it brings a lot of great people along the way. We should always be building up our knowledge, skills, and experience. Next up on the tee box is earn it. We all need to do things to earn money. I touched on it last week. Some people love what they do, like me, and earn lots of money. Others love what they do and do not earn a lot of money. And then there's everything in between. Earning in some contexts or definitions has absolutely nothing to do with money. Instead, it's what is achieved through hard work, perseverance, and teamwork. I have earned the respect and trust of many people in my life, which is in no way related to money or my ability to earn money. I spoke to a buddy over the weekend in New Jersey about doing the podcast out of his house up there this summer. I need a setup from June to September when I head north. We're going to investigate and see if it will be a fit or not, which I'm grateful for. He shared something with me that's going on in his life that he had not shared with anyone. It felt great that I had earned that trust and respect. I listened. I didn't judge. I gave him my 2 cents and a couple different perspectives, and he thanked me. That felt great and was definitely a win for both of us. I saw a quote from a college graduation about earning it that is relevant. Through building something lasting, that's how you'll earn fulfillment and life satisfaction. Not just at the office, but in our relationships with our friends and families. If you consistently seek out professional and personal challenges and don't forget to keep learning, the business of earning will take care of itself. That's gold, Jerry, gold. A little Kenny Banya from Seinfeld for you. I want to close Earn It with a quote from one of my mentors, Jim Rohn, one of the top personal development and motivational leaders in history. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges, wish for more wisdom. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value is what you become. Success is not to be pursued. It is to be attracted by the person you become. If we want to earn something, we need to work hard and pay the price every day. Last on the tee is the phrase, return it. The final and, in my opinion, the coolest part of the cycle. The return is when you find the significance and meaning which is in the service of helping others. Get involved in causes you believe in. Give advice as a mentor, or do something to lift others up. Return is not just or restricted to giving money. Melissa and I are in service to so many people in our day-to-day lives. It is one of our greatest strengths, both individually and as a couple. There are instances where we provide far more value than can be provided by writing a check. It is also important to note we don't have to wait until we've made it or much later in life before we start returning it. Another quote from the same graduation speech on the topic. Your obligation to return begins today. Unfortunately, you should be prepared to return without expecting anything back, sometimes not even a word of thanks. I can promise you that the rewards from what you return will be substantial, even if they're intangible. That part used to be very, very hard for me. I craved getting something in return and the whole world knowing what I did. That is not the case anymore. My involvement and love for my AA community is a part of returning it for me. How I live my life is a direct result of my commitment to showing up each week. Each week we all show up to be of service and help others. People before me in the AA program helped me, and my role and responsibility is to simply be there to help the next person. Return it. Special thanks to the former NHL star who inspired that topic. I know he's listening, and I hope he enjoyed it. Last week we talked about ways golf mirrors life. I've got 3 more for you. Up first, mindfulness. Golf demands mental clarity, as you cannot be thinking about your last bad shot or the email waiting in your inbox. Each shot requires full attention. There's tremendous value just to leave your phone in the car or golf bag for 4 hours and not look at it. Some very high-end clubs don't even allow the phones on the property. As a matter of fact, the member will get in a lot of trouble if the rule is violated. We're all connected to technology, probably too much, including myself. I've seen it time and time again. A golfer goes on his phone, comes back, and it's all downhill from there. You've heard me say it before. Be where my feet are. That means to be present and attentive and mindful. Do not worry about something bad that may or may not happen. Remember that what we are doing at this moment is the most important thing and requires our full attention. Next up is resilience. Golf teaches you to fail constructively, seeing failure as data, as feedback, as the next step toward progress. At any level of golf, ranging from my son who's a beginner to current world number 1 Scottie Scheffler, there are far more failures and bad shots in golf than good ones. How we deal with those failures and bounce back is important in golf, but everything in real life. Progress, not perfection, is a big slogan in the world of recovery and is a universal law. We can drive ourselves crazy trying to chase perfection, which I have news for you, is unattainable. Starting this podcast is progress for me in my life, and who knows where it's going to lead. In fact, I'm practicing the whole cycle of learning, earning, and returning it by doing this podcast. That's awesome. That's very cool. I'm going to fail at times and keep pushing forward. Last on the tee is one of the hardest lessons to apply. Focus. Golf teaches focus, as you must concentrate on making a good swing and avoid distractions. Focus is everything. The best golfers in the world talk about just focusing on that next swing and forgetting about the one before. For those 5 to 30 seconds, I wish they could all be close to 5 seconds. Golfers go through their routine and commit to making the best swing or putt on the ball. In life, this is true as well. If I'm helping one of my kids with homework, they need a lot of help, or at a softball game, it's important that my focus is on that and that only. They can sense it, they can feel it. I'm not perfect, but I've gotten much better at that over time. Be where your feet are, Scotty. We're all susceptible to distractions, so let us all commit to being more focused this week. I know some good life wins will result. Let's close this episode powerfully, like we're going to close all of them. Win for the week, challenge for the week, Bible verse. Win. I mentioned last week my desire to start the habit of doing abs a second time each day at night. Starting Friday night last week, I've done them each evening, in addition to the mornings. I have felt a great sense of pride and accomplishment putting a check mark on my grid for those instead of the X, which I had been doing for nearly 3 months. I have this podcast and making that declaration to thank for it. No more dad bod. 6-pack this summer. Here we come. Look out, Melissa. Challenge. Let's talk about Tiger Woods. I was never a big Tiger fan. I respect how well he plays golf. I'm fully aware of the impact he's had on the global economy and the golf economy. Every player that has played golf since he turned pro owes a huge thank you to Tiger. The people I've met with and spoken to that know him personally say he's a nice, fun guy. I've also heard he's notoriously cheap when it comes to tipping caddies and others in the service industry. He completely changed the game of golf. He made it cool. Since he was born, his father trained him with laser-like focus, a big mantra in our house, to be the best golfer of all time and have a massive impact on the world. Nobody can possibly know what that experience was like. An entire generation of athletes overhauled how they train and prepared to play golf because of him. Tiger's body's broken down for a number of reasons. All the lifting and hardcore training, allegations of possible performance-enhancing drug use, swing changes, the pressure he put on his knees and back for years swinging the club. This is now his fourth issue with a motor vehicle since 2009. At a minimum, he should have a full-time driver. At its worst, it may be a substance abuse issue. I'm thankful as a father in recovery that nobody got hurt in this crash, and I pray that he learns some expensive lessons from this and grows as a result of it. The choice is his and his alone. The Bible verse for the week ahead, which builds on the Tiger situation, is Matthew 18, verses 21 and 22. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times. I mess up a lot and seek forgiveness. There are a few things I do over and over again that I tell Melissa I will not do anymore. Others can probably relate. Both she and God show me mercy when that happens. Some people have wronged me over the years. The hardest thing to do at times is to forgive. It's even harder to forgive and then pray for them. I had multiple situations where I did that, and it was incredibly helpful. Holding on to resentments, especially in the world of recovery, doesn't help. Forgiveness and letting go is essential when it happens multiple times for similar behaviors. Jesus shows us mercy and forgives us when we sin. I know at times it can be very difficult. If we are to mirror him, then we are to forgive often for the same mistakes. God bless, and I will see you next week.